Ik denk de actual watch nog.
Sorry, give me a bisschen Chaim. We moeten gerne de klas ervoor.
You know, base, you shall hasten.
Second.
He says over here that the page called Dalva, I think. Up down here and everything, it says over here, it's fine. It says over here, the eighth is given to the Anshe Achayil, Aidei Pkidei Achayil. Who gives the Eitzer? Who gives the Eitzer? The king gives the Eitzer to the generals, for the army, for the soldiers. He explains what's the Eitzer. The Eitzer Shir Shamayim. He says here, this is given to the people who are standing in war, that they're actually fighting to make the world, to transform the world, to make from the world a Mishkan and Mikdash for the Eivishter. If she called all the above mentioned, the prophecy all the above mentioned is more detailed, the more specified in the generation which is before Mashiach. This generation before Mashiach is a lot stronger. He said that the Aved of Anshe Tzova is Mesiras Nefesh. Mesiras Nefesh is a lot stronger in the generation right before Mashiach. It's explained today how many places on the puzzle. The man Moshe was very humble for all people on the world. So it's explained the main and the main humility of Moshe Rabbeinu was in front of our generation before Mashiach. Why? Because they have Mesiras Nefesh, they stand strong for all the Nizvikum, anything that holds them back from learning doing mitzvahs, they stand against it. Especially in front of the people that laugh at them. Not just they don't do it. They don't get the spell b'chlaf from them in the maligim. This is also why why we say that Davka through the Aved of the door of Iksim Mashiach, we come to the completion of the concept of make a mikdash for the Eivishter. What's the mikdash for the Eivishter? The transformation of the sheker of the world to Kaddish. That's what you said before in last paragraph. Last two paragraphs. Last paragraph. First paragraph. First sif. So transforming the world, that happens through the Aved of Dardik and Mashiach. Because they make Vasel Mikdash Chad B'Seicham, they make a Mikdash Zeim Shal Rest, Kfishiyim Beis HaMikdash Shlish, that's going to be the third Beis HaMikdash. Meshkos v'Rambam, Shemitzah sees Kol Bot HaMikdashes, all the Bot HaMikdashes are learned, Lomades, are learned by Apostle Vasel Mikdash, remember about Mishkan Chosam Moshe Rabbeinu. Even though the Mikdash, the Vasel Mikdash B'Pash is referring to the Mishkan which Moshe made, it's hinted also to all the Bot HaMikdash that are ever going to be made. Mamshich, and the Ram concludes, V'chein Bin also the Bonus Beis HaMikdash Shlishi. Being which is eventually going to be built, which is the Beis HaMikdash Shlishi. Afa Pisha Kosu B'Yecheskel, even though it's written in Yecheskel, Einim Afurshim of war, it's not fully explained, explicit. The Anshe by Sheni Chulu Banu Chulu. The people of the second house, the second bayis, they built the Beis HaMikdash Hasheni. Umeyein Koram Afrosh B'Yecheskel. Umeyein what's says in Yecheskel. The Beis HaMikdash Shlishi is going to be the ultimate Beis HaMikdash, which is also included in the Vasel Mikdash. Alei Beis HaMikdash Shlishi. Basically, love ma'amiti. The third Beis HaMikdash, that's the ultimate, everlasting house. Why? The Yisrael Beis Nitzvah, since it's everlasting manifest, it's an everlasting house. Madach, we say by Moshe Rabbeinu Moshe, made the Beis HaMikdash, we say that's everlasting. Chomai, the Moshe Nitzvah, whatever Moshe made is everlasting. So the same thing is for sure when we refer to the Beis HaMikdash Shlishi. By Beis HaMikdash Shlishi, the third Beis HaMikdash will be built speedily in our days through our actions of the day of Iksu the Mashiach. Shavidosu may be taken Mesiras Nefesh, which that Aveda is from Mesiras Nefesh. Shazo Eifna Aveda, the Eved Nemon, or Ben Nemon, the Eved Poshut. Just the way of serving the Eibusher in a way of an Eved Nemon, a Ben Nemon, Eved Poshut. The Rebbe includes all three Avedas that we mentioned earlier about Moshe Rabbeinu. There's the Eved Nemon, has the mile of Evet Poshet and also the Ben Neman. So he's saying this is also the Aved of every Yid, since every Yid has in himself Moshe Rabbeinu. So I guess every Yid has also the Aved of Evet Neman, Evet Poshet, and Ben Neman.
He says that Dafka when again Mesiras Nefesh.
Of Iksin Mashiach, yeah.
Where do we see the Mesiras Nefesh?
Where do we see we have Mesiras Nefesh? This is just spoke from the Mizri Kuvim. The people are laughing at us and mocking us and putting us down. Where is just spoke? You don't have to go outside the doors to get the spot for people that are making us crazy.
Does that mean that Mashiach couldn't come 100 years before?
As they cooked it, because we need Dafka Araveda.
People down every day Mashiach should come.
But they wanted Mashiach to come, but it could be their Aveda wasn't the right Aveda to bring Mashiach. Dar Iksul Mashiach started already from the Alter Rebbe. The words Iksul Mashiach wasn't a Chiddush in our generation. It's already years ago. That's the last generation. Yeah, okay. Right. Could be.
Missing that Mechana.
Upon here he brings out that Dafka Araveda, because of the Yesh Name Alikim, we have Mesiras Nefesh, the door of it, Mesiras Arotzin, that we're not in Spol. That brings out that's the preparation to make the Beis Hamikdash Shlishi. This is the main concept of Tzivus Havai, that we serve the Eibshter from Mesiras Nefesh. Therefore, therefore the ultimate treasure, which is the most cherished treasure from all cherished things, especially to our generation. What's this Eitzer? So before he says Eitzer Shamayim, but here he brings out a deep understanding. What is this Eitzer? Which level of the Eibshter this is? What the Eibshter reveals to us, so to speak, and gives us the power, empowers us. We should be able to overcome all obstacles. Or to explain to us what's the concept of a Eitzer, a treasure. By the Eibshter, maybe by Maimer, he brings in the continuation of the Maimer, the words of Konazir, the infinite light of Hashem is L'mayla Adin Ketz, U'lamata Adin Tachlis. What does this mean? After he explains at great length, a few broken. What is the concept of Lamata Adin Tachlis? That the Eibshter is Lamata Adin Tachlis. There's nowhere where he doesn't reach. He comes in all levels. He's Ein Sof everywhere. The Rebbe explains the Chafei a little bit. He explains the Ein of Lamata Adin Tachlis there too. He says that the Eibshter is infinite. That's not a question. But the Chiddush is that even lower levels, after the Tzimtzum, and the Eibshter comes there in every single level, and over there, Gufi, he shows, he exercises, so to speak, his infinity. We see the Eibshter is Ein Sof everywhere and every level. Perek Tezvav, it's in the 15th page. Shua Perek Hashach Shonazu. So that's the Perek Hashach to our year. Shalom after we learn the first 20 Parkim of the Hemshech, during the first 20 years after the stocks of the Friedrich Rebbe, showed nicely in the Ben Esim Shana Leroy Limkir, Lisa Lutim Nesiaviv. It's just a special concept. After 20 years, a child could sell his father's nechosim. So Pashto means when you're 20. But then there's an extra thing when it comes 20 years after these stalkos, you're able to, so to speak, you could go further, much further into the nechosim, which are the nechosim, the properties that the father gave us, the mamorim. So the mamorim we can understand it much on a deeper level. Because it's 20 years after, there's Mavus Tamaisi, the Tofar Samar Gimel, that the Rebbe Rashab said a very deep mimer in the Tofar Samar Gimel. And the Rashbatz, which was the teacher of the Rebbe Rashab when he was younger, he said, now that you're 20 years after Tofar Shmem Gimel, after the Stalks of the Rebbe Marash, now it's got for another Eifu, like a new Giluim, new explanations of the Mamorim.
Tov Shnam we spoke about it.
Yeah, also Achei Ben Asur, yeah. So this is Ein Ba'al Rabbein. I heard from Mishlam Mizrahi, he said that they knew that Mashiach is going to come Tov Shnam because then they're going to be finished all the 20 ACs of Bas Lugan.
Oh, but don't get wegen der Verbringung.
Weil der Verbringung ist der Mann.
Schon noch.
So after that, after the 20 years, we finished the Maimer, the Hemshech. So we learned the second time the Hemshech, Kiflaim, now we learned the fourth time. Shonazu this year, Memheiz, Ishnatz HaTezvov, B'Pama Beis. The 50th year, and the second time we learned the Hemshech. Masch Levi starts to explain, Ma'oin, L'mayla Adin Ketz. What is the in of Lamaila Adin Ketz? Still here he's explaining what's Lamata Adin Tachlis. Now he's going to explain what's Lamaila Adin Ketz, that the Eibishter is beyond any description. He's Lamaila Adin Ketz, that's what Pashtas. So Eitz Shalamayla. He's going to explain what it really means. Shame sharing so Lamata Mata Bispashtas Vigili Adin Shirim Ispriklal. Just like the infinite light of the Eibishter comes lower and lower, expresses itself without any amount, without any number. You can't describe Hashem. Everywhere He's infinite. He's very high. What does this mean? Here's the key word. The B'chinas Helamayir. The Eibishter hides Himself. It's hiding after hiding. Every level is a different hiding. The Eibishter hides Himself a lower level, which the Chura seemingly is lower. Chulu, if you look in the Maimer for the Frierdiker Rebbe, it doesn't say, it says, it's a greater advantage. Every lower hell that the Eibishter makes, the Eibishter is revealing His power of concealing, to hide Himself. That's a kecha ein sof, that just like the Eibishter has the power to reveal Himself, He can hide Himself. Any concealment is coming from Hashem. So the fact that we don't see Him, it's His power of concealing. Auch in Atakel Mistat, like the Frierdiker Rebbe, we learned last week. That's the Eibishter showing His power of concealing. This is the concept of Tzimtzum, which is really a revelation of Hashem, that the Eibishter shows that He could hide Himself. Understand this concept. The first symptom is the symptom in the which means like this. The infinite light of Hashem was filling the whole Metzius. There was no place for worlds. Once that was filling the whole Metzius, the infinite light of Hashem is filling the whole Metzius, and there's no place for worlds to exist. It's explained. Just a word from what's Metzius? Which Metzius was there? Very good. What is Metzius? You're asking what's Metzius or what's Metzius over there? Oh, so the Rebbe explains in the Maimer that it means Keich HaGvul. Keich HaGvul, which is the source for Helam, source for Metzius, the source for Yeshes, was full of the Ein Ein Sof. Everything felt. Why am I here? Because the Eibush is infinite. The Eibush is Ein Sof. Ein Sof, anything could be. Therefore, there could be Gvul. Not because there's a Yin of Gvul. There's a Yin of Gvul. The Eibush is Ein Sof. Therefore, there could also be Gvul. Because he's so Gvul, anything could be. So not because there's a Yin in Gvul Kshala Atzmei. There's no reality of Gvul. The Gvul is only a expression of his Ein Sof. He's so himself, anything could be. Imagine when we look at this couple, we'd see, you know why this is here? Because the Eibush can do whatever he wants. If that's the way we would see it, we wouldn't see it. We would see the Eibush's power of doing anything he wants. We wouldn't see things for what they are. In fact, therefore, the It's an interesting lotion from the. I saw this Shabbos. Words from the. He says this word that the Eibishter, all of it saying is Shia Elamis. The Eibishter wants to make a world. But when he wants to make a world, the world that he wants, in his the way he thinks about it, it's all an expression of his will. Anything he wants goes. Anything he wants could happen. So there's no world over there. There's Ein Sof is there. He gives a moshel, he brings from Tanya, the moshel that Alter Rebbe brings the Tanya of a moshel of a person thinking in his mind, he wants to build a house. So the house in his, or he thinks about a rock. So the rock in his head that he thinks about is a live thing. It's not a rock, it's not a daemon, it's a dover chai. Same thing, the Eibishter thinks about the world, it's a lakus, it's Ein Sof of the Eibishter, it's the pshitz of the Eibishter. It's not the Hemokal Miseilus. Even though he wants a world, but the world the way it's there is all part of his Ein Sof, his rotzen, his pshittas. So therefore there's no place to make a world. So therefore the Eibishter has to make a tzimtzum. That's the first tzimtzum that's regularly spoken about in Eitz Chaim and Kabbalah. Generally, seldom times. Seldom. How do you say this? Seldom. How do you say it in English? Seldom. This is a chiddush. The Rebbe made this bomb. The Rebbe brought out this bomb in Yud Shvat. For the whole month, they were speaking about this concept of there's tzimtzum before the first tzimtzum. Even before the first tzimtzum, there was also tzimtzum. He says, why is this? Why do you have to say there's tzimtzum before the first tzimtzum? It's not spoken about in the Chassidus generally. So he says, Yuvan Zeh, this will understand. And this is all explaining that this is a new concept that the Rebbe explains, Helem achar Helem, Ilach Ilu, that the Eibishter hid himself, there's higher levels of Helem. In Chavhei, regularly we would understand that the lower the Eibishter goes, that's another expression of hiding himself, which is expressing a deeper ability of hiding. But here it seems like the Rebbe is learning Helem achar Helem, that there's higher levels of Helem. Even Lifnei Tzimtzum, there's also in of Helem. And there itself, there's many, many levels, and every level, from one level to come to the next level, there had to be a Tzimtzum. The humans are Pia Yedua. This will understand, according to what's known, the Neis Lokach. Besides the fact, She'eiru bein Erich L'gabi HaMoed, we know that Eir is bein Erich to the Moed. And She'bein Erich L'gabi, Gam L'gabi in the Moed Shabbatzmus. These words, Moed is not just the Eibishter himself. Moed is the Moed, the Ein of Moed, which is an Atzmus. The source of light, not Atzmus himself. Moed Sheba Atzmus. Even Lagabe that, which L'chori is already is interested in making light, the source of light, but the light itself, the revelation of the Eibishter is Mein Arech to the concept of the source of light, the source of the ability of being revealed. Hini Gam Be'er Gufeh. Even Eid itself, when the air comes to be a Metzius of air, in other words, it's actually enlightening. So the air, when it comes out of the Moed, is be'enrich than the way it was in the Moed. So besides the fact that we say air is be'enrich to the Moed, to the source of light, the air itself, the way it existed in the Moed, is a lot stronger than the way it comes out of the Moed. They come out of the Moed, it's the pale Meir. But the way it's called by Moed, it's be'enrich stronger. Why? Bepashtus. Because the closer you are to your source, the stronger you are. The air where it's in the Moed is a lot stronger because it's right next to its source, the source of light. Zem Muvan. This is understood. Since even the air that's before the Tzimtzum is revealed, it's a Metzius air. This is a Chiddush, that there's a Metzius air lifnei Tzimtzum. This is the way he says that it's a Metzius air. And in this Gufa, the Gili is in a way that it's shaykh to the world. He says, like it's understood also in this that it says in Yitzchayim, what's the proof that this air is the way it's revealed, its revelation in such a way that it has a connection to the world is because it's and there's no place, there's no ability for worlds to come to existence. This shows that the revelation of the Eibshter is in such a way that it negates the world. If it negates the world, it means it relates to the world. If you have a relationship with someone that you negate them, is the relationship, even though it's not a good relationship, but it's a relationship. So here we're saying that the Eibshter is shaykh to Eilumus in such a way that is in a way this shows that the Eibshter started connecting to the world. So he says in order the Metzius of should come from Eir HaKol, which is not a Metzius of it's only a Chilas L'Hoyer. The only way to come about is through a Tzimtzum. No, this is speaking about the Eir Shalifnei Tzimtzum. The Eir Shoyimal Makom HaChol. It's very high level of revelation of Hashem. He doesn't let any Metzius to come to exist. Still, this in order this should come about from the Eir HaKol, from the Eir, the way it's called by Moed, it's through a Tzimtzum. The Moed is not Atzmus. So we have Eir Shaykh Leilumis, we have the Eir HaKol, then we have the Moed, and you have Atzmus. At least 4 levels over here. Is it understood?
Sometimes it sounds like the word is Atzmus.
Yeah, I know, but here he says here that it's more Sheba Atzmus. It's not the Atzmus. And he's not speaking about the more. He's speaking the more. Yes, he's got being the more Sheba Atzmus, but it's not Atzmus itself. He's speaking there, but I'm going to want to bring out that there's many tzimtzumim every level from the other level. Eir l'gabe Eir HaKol is a tzimtzum. Eir HaKol l'gabe more is also a tzimtzum. More l'gabe Atzmus is weiter a tzimtzum. The Rebbe says in the Sikhe, when the Rebbe spoke about it, in Memhei, the Rebbe says there's Atzmus, there's Yechelis, there's Moir, there's Eir, Hakol, and there's Eir, Hamizgala. There's many levels. And every level there had to be a Tzimtzum. Now the Rebbe says, V'zayuva, now we'll understand, this is a new way of thinking. This way the Rebbe speaks this word from the Tzemach Tzedek, of the Alter Rebbe. But it's a chiddush. The Rebbe says in this Maamar. Zayuva mashkaz v'chakana Tzemach Tzedek. Now we'll understand what Tzemach Tzedek writes in Sefer Mitzvah Shalei in his Derech Tzisecha bin abchina shebo hoya tzimtzum, about the level which there was a tzimtzum. He says v'reisik savi at kedesh meiri v'rabbi meiri v'rabbeinu agadol adini of zik the meiri v'rabbi nishmas eiden from the Alter Rebbe Isaac Saviad shekina lebchina zu b'shem yichelis. He nicknamed, he called this level which has the tzimtzum, the name Yechelis.
Which means what?
Which means what?
Potential.
More than it's potential could mean two ways. There's keich and Yechelis. So there's the level of most. For example, you say a person is a plumber, is a shuster, is a real estate agent, whatever. He has what he does. So what he does, that's his power. That's his specialty. That's his keich. That's his. Then you have someone, he can do anything. There's nothing in the world that he can't do. For example, a Rebbe. The Rebbe Marash wasn't well, so he told him he has to make tables and menedis, and he wrote Megillas. So all these things he did, was this because this is who he is? He's a painter, he's a carpenter, he's a sefer. He could do this too, anything he could do, because honestly, there's nothing he can do. That's Yechelis. Yechelis is not what you could do because of your specialty, what you could do. It's more because you have no description, no special way of existence. Therefore, anything could come to be. That's Yechelis. Yechelis means because he is who he is, anything could come to be. There's a yochel. It can not be. In other words, it's not an in the Bala Yechelis, this that he could do. It's because he is who he is, anything could happen. That's not an inyan nesef love. It's because he is who he is, because he's not describable. You can't describe him. He's not defined. Therefore, anything could happen. He's yoch for anything. Koyach is that he has a power to do something. He's described. You describe the person that he has this power to do this thing. You're saying that because he's not describable, therefore he's yoch. That's the difference in kech and yechelis. Kech is an in the bala kech. That's why you say also keich. Keich means it's a special power. He's incapable. He has a yechelis. You don't say this. You're not describing him. Moshe, you say the Eibush created the world. The Eibush is a creator. The Eibush could create also. You can't say can't create. But this is not him that he's a creator. He's yicholte to create. He's able to create. He's able to do anything. Can eichet b'shaf. So Bechlal and Chassidus learned that Tzavavit says this word that any level of Eish Lifnei Tzimtzum is Yechelis. So when you learn now, you see this word that there was a Tzimtzum at the level of Yechelis. It's very good because Lifnei Tzimtzum, any level of Lifnei Tzimtzum is Yechelis, and therefore there was a Tzimtzum, Eish Lifnei Tzimtzum. Very good. But the Rebbe doesn't learn like this pshat in this Maamar. This Maamar he learns very different. He says Yechelis was a tzimtzum, the level of Yechelis. According to what I said, now that it's tzimtzum and lifnei tzimtzum, now we'll understand what it says. Someone said the world, they saw that the Alter Rebbe wrote, like Savias and Alter Rebbe, that the level that was a tzimtzum was the level of Yechelis. We know, he's asking like a question and answer. That the tzimtzum, wasn't the level that was revealed to the Eibishter. In the same Sefer HaMitzvahs, the Rebbe Tzemach Tzedek writes that the Tzimtzum wasn't able to do Mal Mokum HaChol. I know Leiba Atum say Elbis Pashtusei. Yeah, that the level of Tzimtzum wasn't the level that was revealed. How the Eibishter reveals himself and relates to Elamis and negates Elamis, which means that he's revealed. He's not just Yechelis, not just all capable. Anything could happen. He's relating to the world. He's showing the world that they're insignificant. How does this fit with calling this name, that with the level that there was the tzimtzum with the name Yechelis? So how does these two things fit? Is the Eish because Gila the tzimtzum, or the Tzimtzum was the level of Yechelis. Pianal Yishleimar, Shekavanosi, Gam, this is a Chiddush of the Rebbe in this Maimer, Memhei, no Chiddush, no opening, that he means also the Ina Tzimtzum Hanal Shalifnei Tzimtzum Arishin. He's referring to the level of Tzimtzum before the first Tzimtzum. Hainu l'tnuas ha-Tzimtzum shebeir ha-kol shal yodo yisei am-shochas v'gilei shalifnei ha-Tzimtzum. He's not referring to the Tzimtzum of the Tzimtzum Arishin and the regular Tzimtzum. He's speaking also. This Gam is a big word because it's side of what we said before, that any level of the Tzimtzum is Yechelis, that's why you could say, call it Yechelis. But it's also referring to the Tzimtzum before the Tzimtzum Arishin, that from the Eir HaKol should come out the Gilei Shalifnei Tzimtzum, v'zeh ma shekinu l'bchina zu b'shem Yechelis. Therefore, he calls this level Yechelis, v'she'er HaKol b'mor, v'she'er b'nim shalom ma'ilo, u'rak b'bchina Yechelis gevur sham baruch. At the Eir HaKol b'mor, the way it's by the Eibishter, it's only Yechelis. It's not a Metzias of Eir. It's only Yechelis. It's Eir HaKol b'mor. What touch Kol b'mor? B'chlal. What touch Eir HaKol b'mor in the Moshel? Eir nichol in the mor in the sun. There's Eir. So always the question. Some people want to say that there's pockets in the sun where the Eir comes out and it's over there. It's nimtzu Metzias of Eir in the Shemesh, which is b'chal beyond the comprehension. Maybe you ask astronomers, maybe they understand this. But the way Eir HaKol b'mor would mean, according to that, it's outside of the mor, in the mor. It's not in the mor. What pshat in the mor? Eir HaKol b'mor. So that in Chassidus, Eir HaKol b'mor is the pshat that the Eir is here because the mor wants it should be Eir. In other words, it's the ability of the mor that should be Eir. There's nothing to Eir. There's no metzias in Eir. There's no such thing as it has to be revelation. The Eish has to be revealed. The Eish can do whatever he wants. The Mor can do whatever he wants. If he wants, he's capable to be this Gala also. And that's the pshat that the Eir is kol b'mor, that it's lost. It realizes that why am I here? Only because the Eish can do whatever he wants. And therefore there could be Eish also. That's when the Eir is kol b'mor.
The Eir is in the Moir, it's not going to see it.
Das ist der nicht Metziashli. Das ist der Hedra Metziashli. That he realizes, I'm not me. The Mor is here. As if the Pashas learned, as the closer you are to the more you realize, the more the Eir realizes that it's not about me. I'm not here. The more is here. The more is Bizgalus. So that's why the same Likud. It's not going to not. Enel b'shem Rebbe Ziv Klal says a lot of places of Chassidus. It's kolshkin sheyuchal ohoyer bim kemi. The Rebbe says. The Alter Rebbe says in Tanya kolshkin sheyuchal ohoyer bim kemi. There's a place that the Rebbe learned. The Rebbe Rashab writes that since it says kolshkin sheyuchal ohoyer bim kemi, not that it's taken meir. It's only yechelis lahoyer. There's the ability to be made. He has the capability. He can come out and be made. But it's not that it's actually being. He's actually shining. But why is that? Why is it tichelas? What's pshat tichelas? Anything could be because in other words, take it from ourselves. You could understand. If we would understand ourselves, why we're here? Only because the Eish can do whatever he wants. That's why we're here. So what's here? Anything the Eish wants is here. The Eish's capability is here. The mitzam tzisum worlds of all elements be'emes is the chelis of the Eish. That's the real level. The Eish was mitzam himself. The Eish hid himself. We shouldn't realize himself, that we're in chelis. We should come to Eira Mizgale, then the Shlach Ratzim. So fine.
See, that's target two things.
It's too tight in this Tzemach Tzedek.
According to the Rebbe,
The Rebbe says Gam. When I say Gam, Lina Tzimtzum,
in the area of
from Eira Kol should come to Eira Mizgale. Next keta, the Rebbe is going to say that even to come from Yechelis to come to Eira Mizgale is not so simple. You can't make that jump. That's such a big of a jump from Eir, which is Begeder Yechelis. It's B'chal Narayin of Eir. It's only Yechelis. Shekama Eir, which relates to worlds and negates the mitzvahs of worlds. You can't make that jump in one tzimtzum. Even such a tzimtzum, lifting tzimtzum addition is not enough. That's the whole next ket. Where are we holding in time wise? I don't know.
Perfect. You have that in another 5 minutes.
Another 5 minutes? Okay.
Yes, you don't spend.
Okay, no, I think it's a problem because it's not 10 minutes. Success. Tzimtzum, das ist beginnen sagen, verstanden ein bisschen. Das ist very linear. Okay. Tzimtzum, das ist beginnen sagen, Chelos, in der Maßbeck da, she al yod beginnen sagen, so von Malas Kolomesis, lo machen am mit der Seelen. This level of Tzimtzum, which is in Chelos, is not enough that through that Tzimtzum there should come about the Ein Sof, which is the Malas Kolomesis, and negate the worlds. You want in Zet, understand this from up here. Hashem Avach, God Mem Tzoy, B'Shara Yichud Shalei. This will understand, according to what the Middle Rebbe writes, the Shara Yichud writes like this. He writes a general concept. There has to be a detailed knowledge in the pratim of Seder Shtalshus. This stands a word from the Rebbe Marash, very sharp word. He says a person that can know Seder Shtalshus and doesn't know it, he's nicht kein. He says words, whatever, fine, this is the word. Because you have to know from Vanim Shtamt, you have to know your Yichus. You have to know we went through the whole Seder Shtalshus, where we came from. And he says very sharp words. But here he brings also the same word. I see for the Middle Rebbe, he's saying the same word, that you have to know. Huh? Wissen, you have to know in detail all the details of Seder Shtalshus and Mekef. Also all the details of Tzimtzum. And the continuation to this fact, he says, that also before the first Tzimtzum, there's 3 stages. 3 levels. He gives a dogma because he speaks about all inyanim, chesed and gvura and everything. He says the dogma can maybe in chafetz chesed shzo tam kol abrivat tzimtzum arishin, which is the cause for the whole creation, which includes also the first tzimtzum. So in chafetz chesed, there's shiyash bei gimel madreis lifnei tzimtzum. There's 3 levels before the tzimtzum. Till the lowest level of these 3 is the b'chinas shir ba'atz v'kech kol mashas lis bepeil. He's mishayir, he knows what he wants. שגם דרגזו of שיר בעצם בקיה, כל מה שעושה בפייל, כי לפני האר שהיא ממעל מוקם החול, is higher than the air which is ממעל מוקם החול. Air ממעל מוקם החול is lower than the lowest level of Chofetz Chesed. Chofetz Chesed has 3 levels. Now we're dividing living at Tzimtzum into much more levels than before. He says, even the highest level of Chofetz Chesed, Gam Abchin Chofetz Chesed Atzmi, the ultimate level of Chofetz Chesed, Af Al Pisha Ein Chesed Mamash, although it's not really Chesed, El Chofetz Belvad L'Yin Ra Chesed, it's a desire for Chesed, it's not kindness. The Chayv, so Pnimius Harotzen, In Atainu, it's the concept of pleasure in Chesed, which the whole idea of pleasure, B'chlal, what's pleasure? Pleasure, everyone knows what's pleasure, we don't have to explain it, but what's pleasure? How do you articulate it? Pleasure means you feel good. What do you feel good about? You find yourself. Pleasure is really self-finding. I don't know exactly how to say it. There's a word that Nossi used to say, Nossi used to say that when you feel totally good, that's time. There's no tzar, there's no pain. Everything is good. That's time. What's pshat? Sin ganzen good. You feel totally. You're by yourself. You're Muslim. You're everything is good. So he says over here that the chofetz is the Eibishter's tainu. So he says this still even that. And he move on. Shegam b'shvilo tzorch l'sin atzimtzum. Even for that, there has to be a tzimtzum. Why? Ki kol in shel eir v'gilu yesh tzimtzum hakedem lei. Any level of air, there has to be a tzimtzum coming before that. B'chdei shema yechelas yin shel eir. From yechelas, which is only the capability of air, they're all capable that anything can happen. That should come in shel eir, which is already a defined existence. Any revelation by definition is a description that's so much further away from Yechelis, which is all incapable. Maybe nefesh, he gives an example from the nefesh and the person. The ability of the nefesh is that's when you touch the soul itself. Anything could happen. You can do anything. There's a letter from the Rebbe, actually, that the Rebbe says how the Eibishter, since the Eibishter creates the world, and who creates the world? The Eibishter himself, which is all capable. So therefore, every nivre, as he looked at every, every creation, not just a Yid, he says. He doesn't say not just a Yid. He says, why? Because who is he coming from? He's coming from the Eibishter. The Eibishter is all capable, so everyone is all capable. So the all capability of when a person taps into that's L'mayl Shlei Berach and Kol HaGeluyim. Masha Eikin Eir Shebenefesh is already expressed of the nefesh. That is a human being Chofetz Chesed, so to understand the meaning of Chofetz Chesed Shuin Shel Gilui. which is a revelation of the Eibishter. It's a taino, but it's a revelation. Because the Vichelis is higher, much more refined. It's much closer to the Eibishter himself. From the Yichel should come out the concept of Chofetz Chesed. Taino tak, it's very high, but for that itself also has to be a tzimtzum. And the Chofetz Chesed in Shayichud explains that there's 3 levels of it. Till the level of Shir Batz Mekech Mashros Liz Bepel, which means, in other words, I think what he says over there is there's the Etzem Chofetz Chesed, then there's the Ratzon Kloli for Chesed, then the Ratzon Prati, that he knows exactly what he wants. But the 8 Tzimtzum nice here, and so Shir Mal's Kol HaMetzias. Through another Tzimtzum, he was Mamal Kol HaMetzias, that he filled up Metzias, that the Metzias said, yes, you should feel that why am I here? Only, there's no place for me. The only reality of everything is only the Eibishter himself. In other words, I think what he's saying is the difference between the Ein Sof Shoy Mamal, the Shir Batz Mekech Mashros Liz Bepel, and the Ein Sof Shoy Mamal is called Metzias. Metzias is already, even though this is the way he's estimating it, so it's in him, it's his ability. And then there is the actual world that he's the Sheish for Gvul, not because he's I don't know exactly how to explain it, but something like that. That there's 2 levels. There's the way he estimates it, so it's really all him. Then there's the way he relates to Elamis, and he tells Elamis there's no place for you because the reality of everything is the Ein Sof of the Eibishter.
Why is that lower?
Because it's relating to Elamis Mamish. It's not his estimation of the world. It's not Kol in him. He's Shir Ba'atzu V'kech Kol Mashas L'Peel. He's Memalis Kol Metzias. He's relating to Metzias, to Kech HaGvul, and telling him that he has no place to be. Because everything is the Ein Sof of the Eibishter.
Next week there's a big event called Del Teva,
Right.
so we can't do on Thursday. Can we do Wednesday? Or
It's up to you.
you're available Wednesday at 8?
I hope so.
You hope so? Yeah?